Part 3 of our student computer tutorial is about organizing and saving files. Now that you've been issued your own school laptop, it's very important that you stay organized with your folders and files that you have saved on the hard drive. You'll be using this computer throughout your middle school and high school years, so you will accumulate a large number of files over that time. So it's important to come up with a folder system that's very easy for you to manage. If you go down to the Start button and go to Documents, here you will see your Documents library that may have a number of folders and files in it, or it could just have a few, depending upon how long you've been a student and how many files you've saved. This Documents library is where you're going to want to save the large majority of your files. This Documents library is not only saved on the hard drive of your computer, but it is also saved on a server located here in the building. Throughout the school day, these files are backed up to that server. So if something were to happen to your computer, if it were to be lost, stolen, or damaged, it would be very easy to recover those files that are saved in the Documents library. Also, if your computer needs maintenance and you have to be issued a loaner, these documents will be accessible to you when that loaner computer is set up for you. Now, this Documents folder only has a certain amount of space available to you, so if you have large files such as music, pictures, or videos, they should be saved in a separate library. As you see here, there's a music library, a pictures library, and a videos library. That is where you should save those types of files because they are too large to be saved within the Documents folder. It will fill up too rapidly and you'll run out of space very quickly. So within this Documents folder, I would like you to stay organized by creating folders for each of your grade levels and also for each of your classes. So with Documents highlighted, if I go up to New Folder, I can create a new folder for the grade that I'm currently in. If you're currently in 9th grade, go ahead and type the name of the folder and call it 9th grade. Once you open up that folder, you can then make what are called subfolders within that. So within 9th grade, I'm going to create a new folder called Physics, because I'm currently taking physics in 9th grade. I'm also going to create a new folder called English, because I also have an English class. So you'll notice up here it creates what's called a breadcrumbs view of my folders as I dig deeper and deeper into them. So now within my Documents folder, there's a 9th grade folder, and within the 9th grade folder I have an English folder and a physics folder. What you should do is create a folder for each of your classes, and that is the location where you save things for that particular class. So if you are a 7th grade student, in Documents you would click on New Folder, type 7th grade, and then once you're in your folder, you would create subfolders for each of your classes. So I would like you to pause the video right now and create a folder for the current grade you are in and the subfolders for the classes that you have either this year or this semester. Now that you've created several folders in your My Documents folder, let's take a look at what saving a file looks like. So let's say I was working on a Word document that either I created or my teacher provided for me. When it was time to save that document, because right now it's not saved. It's just called Document 1. If I go to File, Save As, it's going to bring up my Documents folder, but it's not going to bring up necessarily the folder I want to save it in. But because I created a 9th grade folder and a physics folder, I can now save it in that location. And I probably want to rename it something that makes sense to me, such as Lab Report. It's saved as a Word document, and now I click the Save button. When you see the file listed here at the top, you know you've renamed it. So even if it's a file that you're going to be turning into your teacher, or it's going to be printed out, you always want to save a copy of it in your My Documents folder, just in case something happens to it. Now each time I make a change and just click on the Save icon or go to File Save, it now saves it in that location that I set. You want to get in the habit of always saving files in the correct folder location. Don't just put them in the My Documents folder, or it becomes too cluttered over time. Also, get in the habit of naming the files, something that's easy to find later if you need to go back to it. The last item about saving and organizing your files that I'd like to show you is what's called the Teacher InBox and the Teacher OutBox. If you click on the Start button and go to Computer, and again it will look slightly different, but you will see an icon showing you the Teacher OutBox and the Teacher InBox. These are network locations that have been created that have each teacher's name in it. A teacher may ask you at some point to place an item in the Teacher InBox into their folder. They may also ask you to retrieve a document or a file from the Teacher OutBox. So let's say, for example, that I was going to turn in that Word document to Mr. Eller in Physics 9. If I click on the Teacher InBox and go to High School, it's listed alphabetically by teacher first name, and there we will find Mr. Eller's folder. Now the Teacher InBox is locked for students to be able to open, but teachers can open it. So if Mr. Eller has asked me to turn in a file, I would then go down to my Documents folder. It will then open up a new window, and if I get the windows where I can see both at one time, I will open my 9th grade folder, open my physics folder, and there's my lab report. If I click and drag it to Mr. Eller, it will copy it, still leaving it in my Documents folder, but it will copy it into his folder so he is able to view it. You cannot open that folder to see it, but Mr. Eller can open it, and if I double click it, I can see that it's located in there, as would Mr. Eller. Now, Mr. Eller may also ask me to retrieve a file from the Teacher OutBox. If I go into High School and again scroll down to Mr. Eller's folder, this time you will see that I will be able to open it. So when I open his file, you see when I open his folder, there's a file located in there called unit1.doc. I can drag that file out and copy it to my desktop for now, and there's already one on there, so I'm going to ask it to copy and replace it. And now that file is stored on my desktop, but of course I don't want to keep it on my desktop. I want to then go to my Documents folder, go to my 9th grade physics folder, and drag that file in so it is now located in my Documents folder, so it'll be backed up. The version that's now on the desktop, I can put that in the recycling bin because I no longer need it. So at some point in the next year or next few years, a teacher will probably ask you to either hand in something in the teacher inbox or get something out of the teacher outbox. That's how you would do that.